Jane, I just wanted to say thank you again so much for the lovely cake that you got us. I was wondering what this good cooler bag that got delivered was about, and it was a lovely cake. So thanks again for the gift. We can't wait to enjoy it tonight. Hold on a second. What the heck are you talking about? You know that cake isn't for you to eat, don't you? I only sent that cake as a gift to my brother for getting a new job, so that means that he's the only one who should be eating it. Sorry, you mean that you sent the cake to our house, but it's actually only for John? That's right, and it's because he got a great new job at one of the largest companies in the world. Of course I expected nothing less of him. Sorry, what exactly are you talking about? Oh, come on, surely you know this. I mean, he's going to be getting paid $150,000 a year, and that's only the entry salary. I guess we can finally say that my brother has made it to the big leagues, huh? So anyways, that's why I, as his little sister, wanted to help him celebrate his huge accomplishment. So I worked really hard at my part-time job to save up and afford to get something from a nice bakery. Jane, I really don't know how to break this to you, but John is still unemployed. Wait a second, Mary. Are you seriously telling me you don't even know that your own husband has found a job? Has he not told you, or do you just not care about what goes on in his life? Honestly, you really should at least try to be a more caring and attentive wife, you know? Excuse me? And just what in the world is that supposed to mean? And the fact that you're keeping this charade up is just so disrespectful. You do realize that the reason my brother has been looking for a job so hard this past year is because you make so little, right? Well, I'm not going to pretend like I work for some fabulously huge company or anything like that. But I am in the upper management of my company, and I don't think my salary is all that small. I don't care how high up you get in your company, it's still nothing compared to what other larger companies could offer. I bet that even after all this time working there, you're probably barely taking in $50,000. Actually, I make more than double that amount, thank you very much. In fact, I've been the one sending money back to your parents instead of John. Oh, please, you really think that I'm just going to fall for such a bold-faced lie like that? I know the truth, and you're through. I really don't know what you could possibly mean by that. I mean, I know that this whole time John has been looking for a job, that he's also been sending money back home through his personal savings. And even though he didn't have to keep sending it after he quit his job, he still kept it up the entire time. He really is such an amazing brother and a great son to our parents. I am so proud of him. Jane, you know that we've talked about this before. I'm not bragging about anything. The truth is that I was sending the money. I don't think that John has ever had any real savings to speak of. Wow, do you ever get sick of lying to people like that? How dare you even try to talk to me that way when you're so ugly? Okay, now you're just being ridiculous. Did you seriously just send that message? I just have no idea what my brother was thinking getting married to you. I just wish you two would get a divorce already. Then maybe he could move back in with all of us here at his real home. That's really what you want to happen to your brother and I? I don't really care at all what happens to you, but you better not touch that cake. I'm serious when I say it's only for my brother. If I find out that you had even a crumb, there will be consequences. Hey John, are you there? What's this news I'm hearing about you finding a new job? Is that really true? Because this is the first that I'm hearing about it.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Well, it's just that your sister sent us a cake. She said it was to celebrate you landing a new job at some huge company somewhere. Is that really true? Because that would be really amazing if it were.
Oh, did Jane really go and do that for us?
Well, I just wanted to double check with you since you haven't mentioned anything about that to me. In fact, I thought you said that you were going to the temp agency again today to look for work, so what's the truth here?
I'm not going to lie to you, Mary. It's been a year since I quit my job, and I seriously don't think I can keep looking anymore. But I was getting sick of everyone asking me about the job hunt, so I just told Jane that I found something.
I see. And that's why Jane thought she had the right to talk down to me? because she was really laying into me for not knowing that my husband had found a new job. Not only that, but she said that the whole reason you quit your job in the first place was because I wasn't making enough money. I was just curious if you had any idea where she might have gotten some of those notions.
Well, the thing is that I haven't actually told my family why I had to leave my last job, so I just kind of gave them a story I thought they would buy.
I see. Because even when I tried to explain to your sister that I was the one sending money back to them, she just accused me of lying. You know I really hate being called a liar when I'm telling the truth.
I know, but think about the position I'm in. If I get caught in this lie, things will get really bad for me. So please, I'm asking you as my wife to just hold off talking to anyone else about this, please.
I see. And when your family starts ordering me to leave you, should I just sit there and take that too?
What are you talking about? Who was saying that to you?
Well, it's what your sister said she wishes we would do. She wanted us to break up so that you could move back in with your family.
I see. You know, that's actually not such a terrible idea. Maybe I should just move back in with my parents.
Wait, what? You don't actually mean that, do you?
Well, I've actually been thinking about it for some time. I was thinking that it's been so hard to find a job that maybe we should just be apart until I do finally find something.
John, literally, what are you talking about? What does us living together have to do with you finding a job?
I just feel like I'm always under so much pressure to be finding work when I'm at home.
And do you think that that has anything to do with the fact that you haven't had a job in over a year?
That's not fair. I've been trying really hard just to find a job while you've been having a successful career. It's just really depressing for me to have to watch that happen while I get nothing.
I really don't understand you. When you quit your job, I agreed to support us both with my salary and help support your family as well. And now you're telling me that I'm the reason you can't find a job?
I'm just saying that living with you makes me feel like I have a ton of pressure on me to find something, you know? And it's like, no matter how hard I try, I know I'll never catch up to you, and it makes me feel even more pressured.
But you're telling me that if you go back and live with your parents that you'll be able to find a job?
I just think that I'd feel a lot better if there wasn't so much pressure for me to have to do so. Although, maybe we should try something new. How about you go back to live with your parents instead, and I stay here in the house?
Are you serious?
Of course I am. But you'll still have to send me money every month. I think maybe $1,500 a month should do it.
So you're now telling me that not only do I have to move out of the house, but I still have to send you money to support you?
Well, duh. You know that I don't have a job. You're the only one who makes money around here.
Well, if I go back to living with my parents, then I'm going to be supporting them instead so that I don't become a burden.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. I promise I really am going to try hard to find a job. Besides, you still need to keep sending money to my parents as well.
So you want me to keep sending them $1,000 a month and you $1,500? Do you really think I can afford that?
Oh, don't worry, I'll find a job right away, an even better one than I had before. Then we can go back to splitting all the costs.
I still don't see why I should have to go home to live. I mean, we have a guest house, why don't I just stay there?
What would even be the point of that? How could I bring chicks over if you're still around?
Excuse me, chicks? And just who are these chicks you're bringing around?
I just met some other women, I know who are looking for jobs as well. I've met some people at the temp agency who I've gotten close to, and we agreed to talk about our job hunts and share tips. You didn't think that I meant anything else than that, right?
Well, if that's all you're going to be doing with these chicks, I don't see why I can't just stay in the guest house. No, if you have no other objections, I'll move my stuff out there and agree not to tell anyone the truth about your job hunt. Hey, Mary, I thought my brother told you that he wanted you gone. Why don't you just go home? And how dare you not support my brother in his new job? Jane, what are you talking about right now? I am talking about John's new job. I knew that he asked you to leave him alone for a bit so he can concentrate on his new job. But you told him that you didn't want to because you didn't feel like it? Do you realize that working for such a huge company means that John is always under pressure? You need to give him the space he needs to work efficiently. What work is he even concentrating on? He wants me gone so that he can invite over other women. I don't see why I should go home and let that happen. Ugh, you are such a pain to deal with, do you know that? How dare you just ignore an order from your husband? I know that I was right to file your divorce papers myself. Divorce papers? What are you talking about now? Well, I saw my brother struggling, so I helped him out just a little. But now it's time for you to go back to where you came from. I've already set up everything. You two are divorced, and there's no reason for you to stay with my brother any longer. Are you really saying what I think you're saying right now? That's right. I really do outdo myself sometimes. And now that you are split up, you have no right to be living in that house with him, so just do as my brother commanded and go home. You're kidding me. You mean you just sent off our divorce papers without talking to either of us? I told you that I wish you two would just break up for a long time now. But I realized it wasn't going to happen without a little intervention. So I did what had to be done. I signed and sent off your divorce papers. I see. Well, good luck with your unemployed brother, then. What are you talking about? I'm tired of you all, and I don't care to explain, so I'm just going to pack up my things and go home. You should know that I did my best to encourage John to find a job, but now it's not my problem anymore. Wait, no, seriously. What are you talking about? What do you mean John is unemployed? He has a job. He's had one for a while now. He's working hard at a huge company, isn't he? No, that was just a lie he told you. Of course, you thought I was lying to you, but I was only ever being honest. What do you mean? How could he be lying to me? Well, he lied about finding a job. He hasn't had any work since he quit his last job over a year ago. But, wait, that can't be right. My brother would never, ever lie to me. I know that he found a job with a huge company and that he left his old job to be able to take care of all of us. He worked himself to the bone for the past year trying to get this position. You're forgetting that I also didn't make enough money for him. Of course, that's not really why he quit. He quit because he was being sued by a young woman from his office. Not just any young woman, but the daughter of the company president, in fact. One reason John hasn't been able to find any work is because he's basically been blacklisted from the industry by his last boss. And that's how things have been for the past year. Are you kidding me? That can't be right at all. There's no way that my brother would be fired for something like that. I refuse to believe it. Well, you can believe it or not, but you might want to check with John himself about this. Because it was then that I decided I wanted to divorce him, but he begged me not to leave him until he found a job. I even have footage filmed of him begging me not to leave him for his mistake. I can send the video to you, but you aren't going to like what you see. No, that's impossible. My brother wouldn't really do that. In fact, ever since then, I've been the one supporting both your brother and your family. John ordered that I take over paying your family since he didn't have any more income or savings. So then, you were telling the truth when you said that it was you sending the money to my family? That's what I was trying to tell you, but you just accused me of lying, remember? And your good-for-nothing brother told me that my presence was putting too much pressure on him to find a job. And now you're telling me that you've gone ahead and ended our marriage for us, so with that done, I don't see any reason to stay around here.
Mary, please, don't do this. Don't leave me.
I'm afraid it's too late to undo this. Besides, your sister was the one who divorced us. But at least you should have no problem finding a new job now.
No, I can't do it. Now my parents are going to start telling me to find a job, and it's never going to happen.
What do you mean? Do your parents know the truth?
Yes, I don't know how, but they found out the truth, and they're furious with me now. They told me they thought I was looking for a job this whole time. Then they demanded that I pay you back for all the money that you had been sending them, and finally they said they never wanted to see me again.
Oh, wow, that's even better than I thought. And here I was thinking that I would never get that money back. Make sure to tell your parents thanks for me.
Please, Mary, I need you now. I swear that I'll really start looking for a job, and I'll be back for everything. Just please, don't leave me. If I don't find a job, then my family is really going to stop talking to me.
And why is that my problem? You're my ex-husband, so leave me out of this.
Mary, you don't really mean that, do you?
Of course I do. I've been supporting you and your family for the past year while you've sat around doing nothing. Then you have the gall to lie to your family and tell them that I'm the reason you quit. On top of that, you let your sister get away with insulting me as a lazy liar while you let her believe you had found work. And then after all that, you really try and tell me that I'm the reason you couldn't find any work up until now? Well, I have had it with you and your family, and once this divorce is all over and done with, I never, ever want to see you again. After that, Jane began texting me desperately asking for money since I had stopped sending any to John's family. In the end, she barely managed to graduate college. She did end up finding a job, but it was at a very small company that was near the bottom of her list of places she'd like to work. I heard that even John managed to find a job, but had to bite the bullet and take over a 50% cut in pay. While living at home, his parents forced him to send part of his paycheck back to me to pay back all I had given them. When he sent me the final payment, he asked if I would think about getting back together with him. I just blocked his number and never talked to him again. After we divorced, I moved into a nice condo by myself and have been readjusting to single life. I've also finally been able to afford to send money to my own parents, who were glad to hear I got out of such a horrible marriage.
I heard from Dad. Congrats on your marriage. You guys got the marriage license today, right? Thanks, Stacy. We just got back from the city hall. We're officially a family now. I baked a cake for today, so the three of us should eat it tonight. Huh? Why would I eat cake with you? I'll eat it in my room, so just bring it up. I'm not eating at the same table as a housemaid. What? You finally got a maid, huh? It took longer than expected. Stacy, when you say housemaid, are you referring to me? Who else would I be talking about? You married my dad, which means you are now my personal maid. I'm not a maid. I'm your new mother. We're gonna live together as a family. Why would you do something so hurtful and call me a housemaid? What's so hurtful about that? I have never considered you as a mother since the start. You're nothing but a housemaid in my eyes. Uh-huh. Starting next year, I'll be focusing on getting into college. I really want to put all of my focus into studying, but if I was alone with just Dad, I would have had to focus on cleaning and stuff as well. Plus, getting a good tutor would be tough on Dad, so getting a maid who also has money really helps out. And so you're trying to say that I'm that person. You were really supportive of our marriage, but that was your end goal. Yes, exactly that. Thanks for marrying my dad so quickly and for becoming my personal maid. What? Oh, come on, don't be like that. Every mother is practically a housemaid in their family. So that's why you can just stay quiet and do your job as a maid. Just don't act like an actual mother with me. Remember, you're nothing more than just a housemaid. You're only here to take care of the house and give us money. Hey Ashley, there wasn't enough money for my tutoring fee, so I just took $500 from your wallet. Hang on, I gave you money for that last week. Oh, did you? Well then I guess I'll just keep this as my allowance for this month. I gave that to you as well. Give me that money back. And stop taking money from my wallet like that. Shut up! Jeez. I already used up my allowance, so it can't be helped. If you don't want me to take money from your wallet, then increase my allowance. I give you $200 a month. If that's not enough, then you really need to think about how you're spending your money. Huh? Are you trying to lecture me even though you're just a housemaid? Have you forgotten that I told you not to do that? Anyways, After my tutoring session, I'll be studying with some friends at a restaurant, okay? I'll probably be back at 10. As always, don't get in the bath until after I do. Hey now, why is it always I have to be the last one to bathe? I want to take a bath after I get home from work. Why would a maid be allowed to bathe first? Until Dad and I finish, you're not allowed. Stop this right now. When are you gonna acknowledge me as a family member? I've been so patient with thinking that you'd open your heart to me, but you've only gotten worse with your behavior towards me. I can't stand this for much longer. Ha! That's your fault. You were the one who decided to go through that turmoil for no reason. I have no intention of seeing you as anything other than a housemaid. How horrible. You should just hurry up and accept that you're nothing more than a housemaid. A housemaid shouldn't complain when they have money taken from their wallet. They should be last to bathe, and won't eat dinner at the same table as I do. You need to live the life of a maid and get used to it. I see. I really did try my best to get along with you. I see these 3 months were nothing to you. If you're not happy, then maybe you should just leave. You can get a divorce and leave this house. What? Ha! Just kidding. You could never do something like that. I mean, you finally got married, plus Dad is pretty good looking, so I guess you don't want to leave him. You couldn't get anybody else's attention, so you went for a man with a child already, right? You're kidding, right? Is that how you've thought of me this entire time? That's literally the only thought I have about you, besides being a housemaid. A hag like you would never want to get a divorce from a handsome man like my dad. So if that's the case, then stop complaining. Be a good housemaid for me, okay? Jackson, I'm at my limit with Stacy. Could you do something about her?
What's wrong, Ashley? Stacy is just a high schooler who's in a little rebellious stage. She'll warm up to you eventually.
I thought so as well, but I can't do this anymore. Plus, Stacy already told me herself that she has no thoughts about changing her behavior towards me.
Wait, really?
I don't think I can live together as a family. Recently, the idea of divorce has been frequenting my mind.
What?
So, could you try to do something about this situation with her? I won't make a fuss about being on friendly terms with her, but I want to live here normally and not be treated as a housemaid. So please, help out.
Even if you ask me to do something, I feel like I would just be making things worse if I intervened. I think it's best for you guys to sort this out.
Even though your wife is telling you that she's had enough, you still refuse to do anything? Even though it's getting to the point of divorce?
Then divorce me! We just got together, but whatever.
Huh?
I'll go get the divorce papers soon.
Hang on. You're just gonna accept that? You're okay with getting a divorce?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. If we get divorced, I'll just find another woman to marry.
Are you serious? You're not willing to help out a wife in need of help? You're just cruel for flat out agreeing to a divorce.
Well, yeah, but I don't feel like dealing with this stuff. A man should never stick his nose into a fight between women. Duh.
Fine. So that's how it is then. You could just pretend that I'm not being treated as a maid and help out when I'm in need. There's no point in staying together then.
Just make sure you have the property distribution done correctly, okay?
Uh-huh.
You make more money than I do on a yearly basis. Man, it's nice to marry a girl who works hard.
Wait, you only married me for money? That's what it sounds like to me.
Of course your personality was part of the reason, but the money was the bigger reason.
What?
Anyway, I'll go get the papers. I'll already have my name signed, so just sign yours when you really want to get a divorce.
Could you leave now? You're no longer needed in this house. Huh? I just saw Dad walking with a super pretty lady earlier. They were eating dinner together too. There's no way that's not a date. What did you just say? From afar, it kinda looked like Mom. I guess Dad really has a type, which is the complete opposite of you. How cruel. I thought it was suspicious that he easily agreed to getting a divorce. I see why now. He already had somebody else. What? You guys already talked about getting a divorce? That's so funny. Well, if that's the case, then hurry up and leave already. You're no longer needed here. You're almost done moving out yet, Hag? I was just about to leave. Freedom at last! For a housemaid, you were pretty annoying to say the least. Gosh, it was hard to breathe with you around. In the end, you still call me a housemaid. Well, as your mother, I'll say this. Karma's gonna get you. What goes around must come back around, and you'll soon get your due. You're not even my mother and you're still trying to lecture me? Just shut up and get out of here.
Hey Ashley, what are you doing divorcing me all of a sudden? Why'd you leave?
Huh? You were the one who said I could. So I took your word for it and signed the papers. So go ahead and enjoy your life with that woman who you were with earlier.
What?
Stacy told me everything already. You were happily enjoying your date with a really pretty lady. Not to mention, she looks like kinda like your ex-wife. You only agreed to divorce me that easily because you have her, right?
Well, you see, what had happened is...
I'm so over both of you and your daughter. Enjoy your life with that lady.
That's impossible. She isn't someone who looks like my ex-wife. She is my ex-wife. She just rejected me.
Huh?
At first, I thought it was someone who looked like her as well. The cafe I've been going to recently has an employee who looks like my ex-wife, so I traded numbers with her and started texting every day. We went out on a date today, and that was when I realized that it was actually my ex.
Are you serious? You couldn't tell until the date? That's your ex-wife, though.
She had a different hairstyle and wore a mask when she was working. I really couldn't tell it was her, even though she recognized me immediately.
What?
She apparently heard from someone that I got remarried and decided to accept going out with me on purpose. She called me out for still being a cheater. The worst date ever.
Wait, let me get this straight. You guys got a divorce because she cheated on you, right? Yet she called you out for being unfaithful? This isn't adding up at all.
I'm sorry. I was lying about that. It's actually the other way around. I was extremely unfaithful throughout my previous marriage. She got sick of it and left me.
What?
Stacy was on my side and coldly told her mother that she's being too dramatic over something like cheating. She caused my ex-wife to leave the both of us.
Wait, so you guys have been playing with me the entire time? Hiding the real reason for your divorce and setting me up as the maid from the start? Even going as far to go for my money as well? You both are horrible people.
Please, Ashley, rethink the divorce. I'll be sure to tell Stacy to knock it off with the housemaid stuff.
Don't be ridiculous. Just because your potential next wife plan failed doesn't mean you should be acting like this. You divorce me but get my money. Get back together with your pretty ex-wife. All that went down the drain, it must suck for you. Thanks for leaving so fast. Now, we just wait for my dad to marry that mom lookalike. I'm not worried though. Dad will easily get married again. He's way too handsome not to. Your handsome father just got rejected, so you guys are back to the life with just the two of you. Wait, he got rejected? Turns out that she was actually your mother, and your father didn't notice and got rejected. You're lying. I don't believe you. Ask your dad for more details about it. Our divorce got approved, so I'm no longer your mother. I never want to go near a father and their child who would hide the real reason they got divorced in the first place. Ugh! So you ended up finding out, huh? I'm not even mad at you both. I'm just so over it. Never show your faces ever again. Bye. Why would I? Dad will find another person easily. You can just leave your money and go. I'm expecting a lot of money from you. Huh? You got a divorce, so you're gonna have to pay for it. Even though you were just a housemaid, you were written as my mother. So of course, you're gonna have to pay for childcare. Dad told me that you have a lot of money despite your age, but thanks to property distribution, half of that is going to us. Like father, like daughter, huh? I have no need to pay for childcare, and don't plan on paying much for property distribution either. My assets don't count within that marriage. Wait, really? I don't know if you're really smart or really dumb, honestly. You guys both don't know anything about that stuff, and yet try to play me like a con artist. What do you mean it's not covered? Even if you guys were married for a few months, that should count for something. That's just how it is. Assets before marriage don't count at all. Property distribution only counts towards those few months I was married to your father as well. What? Plus, while we did get our marriage license, I never claimed you as my child, so I have no need to pay for childcare. That's all you get from me after this. So we won't get any money from the divorce? Yep, you're practically getting nothing. If anything, you're probably gonna have to leave that house as well. Uh-huh. We all moved to that house as a family, right? I pay for every single month of rent for that house, so your father is supposed to be paying me. Although, I think the price is a bit too high for him. I mean, the rent is $3,000 a month, which is impossible for a person who makes less than me to pay for. $3,000 a month? That house is that expensive? It's a really good area, which is an easy amount for someone like me to get paid $20,000 a year. I think your father is gonna struggle a bit on this one. Wait. You're making that much money? Yep. So for a hag like me, I have so much money saved. That can't be true. I heard you were making a decent amount, but not this much. You're practically rich. I'll be going back to living a peaceful, rich, and single life without rude daughters and unfaithful husbands. Hang on, Ashley. I have a feeling we're gonna be able to get along really well. Even if we aren't bound by blood, I think we really can be a family. Uh-huh. So come back, Ashley. Everything I was doing before was just me being rebellious, but that's all done now. I'll get along with you. Wow, you suck at acting. Well, even if it wasn't, you're too late anyways. Have fun with your dad. Goodbye. After not being able to afford rent, I heard that they moved to a rundown apartment. Jackson started looking for a wife again, but even for a good-looking man, having 2 strikes on a marriage is a bit suspicious. After not getting attention from anybody, he probably got really annoyed, leading him to be more aggravated towards Stacy. Apparently, they don't even eat dinner together anymore. Since being forced to handle all the chores, Stacy finally started to regret her previous actions. She sincerely apologized to me over text about everything, although I completely ignored it. Hopefully this will help her grow even more as a person.